How do you clean microfiber cloths? That's an excellent question, and we're going to talk about that today. Hi there, I'm Angela Brown, and this is Ask a House Cleaner. This is a show where you get to ask a house cleaning question, and I get to help you find an answer. Now, today's show is brought to us by mycleaningconnection.com, which is a hub for all things house cleaning. And on there, you will find some microfiber cloths and the different varieties we're going to be talking about today. All right, so the question today comes from a new guy that's starting a house cleaning business, and he wants to know...
Hi, Angela. I'm starting a house cleaning business. I used to work for a company, and they used to wash their microfiber on the sanitized cycle. But I found and have learned since that heat deteriorates microfibers. So for myself, I've been using bleach instead, which I know is also bad. But I've been using about a cup of bleach for an extra large load on a top loading washer. So I was just wondering what you do if you use that, how you clean them, etc.
All right, that's an excellent question. And yes, you're correct. The heat will destroy your microfiber cloths. So let's go back to a second for what is a microfiber cloth. Now, a cotton cloth is made of cotton, and the fibers are kind of lumpy because that's what cotton is. They're globs of cotton. Now, a microfiber cloth is different in the sense that it's very scientific in its approach. And so the threads are about 1/100th the width of a human hair. So when those are all blended together and all mixed together, you have a very specific, uniform, consistent drying fabric that you can use that's become very popular in the auto detailing industry and now also very popular in house cleaning. So back in the 1950s is when microfiber was really created and introduced. And the Japanese made it very popular in the 1970s and brought it to the auto detailing industry. And then in the 1990s, microfiber became really popular and mainstream for regular homes and house cleaning and all that kind of stuff. But the regular way that you clean it is not the same way you would clean cotton cloths. So the first thing that I might mention is that if you are using microfiber cloths for house cleaning, you need to know what the different fabrics are and what surfaces you want to use them on. Okay, so a plush microfiber is going to be used for detail work. A waffle weave microfiber cloth is going to be used for drying surfaces, and a flat one is going to be used for glass and flat surfaces. And then also the suede microfiber is going to be used for coating work. And so that is going to be very popular, again, for the auto detailing. And for the house cleaning, you're going to be using it for dusting and for drying and for polishing. So you need to know what the different microfiber cloths are and what they are used for. Now, when you go to clean them, you want to clean your microfiber cloths separately from everything else. You do not want to mix it with your cotton rags because you will get lint. And you don't want to mix it with any other clothes because what you're doing is you're pulling out all the dirt and all the dust from those microfibers that you're going to be reusing those cloths again. And you don't want all that stuff coming out and going into your clothes, and you don't want to mix and match fabrics. So you even want to separate your different microfiber cloths when you wash. So if you have a bucket back at your place of business, whether it's your home or if you have an office, you want to put your microfiber cloths in there to soak in a pre-soak detergent. Now, your pre-soak detergent is not going to be bleach. Please don't use bleach on your microfiber cloths. And you do not want to use anything that's strong, like fabric softener or anything like that. You want to use a liquid soap detergent for laundry that doesn't have any perfumes and no dyes. So you're talking something very eco-friendly, very simple, very soft as far as the chemicals are involved. Okay? You don't want to use a lot of chemicals, just the soap. And I'll put links to that in the show notes so that you know what I'm talking about. Okay, so with that, you want to soak your rags, and that will help loosen everything up. Then when you wash them, you want to wash them on a gentle cycle that is warm, that has a warm attachment to it. You don't want to do hot and you don't want to do cold. Cold won't get the dirt out or the grime out of your microfiber cloths, and the hot will destroy them. It will destroy those fine fibers. Then when you dry them, my preference is just to hang them up to dry, but you can throw them inside the dryer on a low tumble, low heat. Again, you do not want hot at all. Now, in the back of my car, I have this plastic shoebox that I keep microfiber cloths in. There are a couple of different kinds of microfiber cloths. Now, this first one does not have any seams around the edges. It's called a seamless microfiber cloth. And this is great for using, for example, on the outside of your car, so that you don't run streaks that are caused by this edge. Now this is just a seamed edge on a different microfiber cloth, and this one I actually use on the wheels. So I'm going to have two separate rags, and you will do this in cleaning as well. You'll have two separate cloths for different things. So this one that has the little rim around it, this is the one that I use for the tires and the wheels. And it's going to be a little bit more grimy than this one, for example. And this is the one that I use on the skin and the outside shell of the car so that it doesn't grab the edge of that and then leave a little streak. So there are different cloths that you use for different things. And the important thing is that you realize that when you wash them, you want to keep them separate. Now, this one is going to get more grimy than the other one because, like I say, I use it for the tires and the wheels of the car. So if you have a microfiber cloth and it gets really grimy, you can still reuse it for a few times for that thing. Like for my tires, I don't clean this rag. I wash it after every use, but I don't boil it or whatever, except maybe every 3 or 4 times. So when it gets really grimy and you do boil it, what you do is you take a pan of water, you use 1 teaspoon of vinegar, white distilled vinegar, per gallon of water. And then you drop your cloths in there and you let them boil for about 90 seconds. And you just stir them with a big wooden spoon. And that way it kind of agitates them and it kind of mixes them up, but it loosens all the junk that are stuck inside your microfiber cloths. Then you grab some tongs and you take it out of the water, put it in the kitchen sink. When it cools down, you do a regular load of wash for the very heavily stained microfiber cloths. So I say don't use heat except when you're boiling it, and that's why we don't do it very often. And with that, it will remove the junk. But then, like I said, 90 seconds. We don't want to do this on a half-hour cycle or anything like that you would do if you were to turn it on high heat in your dryer. So you want to be very specific and very careful about the heat because you don't want to destroy the fibers. So again, what we know about microfiber, there are different types, there are different plushes, they're used for different things. They need to be kept separately, and when you wash them, they need to be kept separately. So don't wash your microfiber with anything else, only microfiber, and they will last you a very, very long time. Now, there are reputable dealers that sell these, and you can find cheap ones as well. The cheap ones will usually produce cheap results, and the ones from reputable dealers will usually last you a very long time. But they're not very expensive. You can actually find some really great microfiber cloths very inexpensively, and I'll put links in the show notes to those as well. So if you haven't used microfiber, if you're scared of microfiber, you don't know how to use it, jump in. It's a new fabric. It's fantastic. It's used for lots of different things in the cleaning business. And as far as cleaning them goes, it's very, very easy. Just run them in a regular wash cycle on warm, not cold, not hot, and use a very soft detergent with no dyes and no perfumes. Alrighty, that's my 2 cents for today, and until we meet again, leave the world a cleaner place than when you found it.